Alright, the Merc Man Show is an 18+ show. It is purely entertainment only. He is a made-up person with a made-up name that lives in a made-up town, and therefore is not a threat or promote terrorism. So don't take him seriously. This is a Spank Weasel production. Or Spank Weasel presents a Mario World production. Hello, mercenaries. Welcome to the 30th episode of the Season 3 premiere of the Merc Man Show. I'm your host, Mr. Bonkers. And yes, I look different. Because I come back from vacation in Jamaica. And I realized my dumbass left my closet door open. That's where I keep my weapons. Anyways, I've had an awesome time in Jamaica. And, wow. Non-stop weed. Beautiful women. Beaches. Coconuts. All kinds of cool shit. And most of all, there's a lot of jerks. Really, there's jerks there. That's what they call their barbecue. Like, I went to this one place called Joe's Jerk Shack. We got the best jerks in the world, and they really did have the best jerks in the world. I mean, that's just about the delicious barbecue I ever had. So if you ever go to Jamaica, make sure you tell them to jerk off on your food. I'm dead serious. You're gonna love it. Anyways, yeah, so that's why I just not got back, mercenaries. I mean, this is my vacation shirt, man. Look snazzy. Actually, I kind of look like Charlie Sheen. I will be in next uniform next week, hopefully next week. These have been kind of hectic lately, and I'm not kidding with the hecticness. I mean, shit. What happened when I was gone? Well, first off, I watched Star Wars at last. Thank God. Had to wait for the craziness to die down. I found out that Anthony gets a motherfucking pocket knife. What the fuck? How the fuck did that happen? I'm supposed to be the badass, not him. What the fuck happened? So, I guess we're equal on the badass level. And then, oh my god. Mercenaries, I got some big news. It's gonna shock you. From this day forward, despite the bad hockey mask, I am confirming I am 100% good guy. I didn't want to be a good guy. I didn't want to be a fucking hero. I hate heroes and I hate villains too, but guess what? I have an arch enemy. Yes! I have an arch enemy, guys. A villain. The motherfucker tried to clip me while I was on vacation. You know, I was too busy getting a Hummer from a sweet prostitute over there. And all of a sudden, she just pulls out a fucking knife. I had to take my knife and like stab her, and then I had to dump her body in the ocean. At least that's what I think. I won't give any details. Yeah, it was good because the sharks came by and ate her. That got rid of the evidence and all that cool shit. But the point is, she was an assassin, not a hooker. And she says she worked for someone called the Faceless CEO. I'm gonna find you, you son of a bitch, the Faceless CEO. I'm gonna find you. One way or another. I'm gonna find you. And you will pay. He did something during my vacation that is damn right unforgivable. And there's gonna be a standalone rant video about what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's forget all that crap. The good news is I'm back. Like I said, my plane just now got in. That's why I'm not in uniform. I will be in uniform next time with my beloved weapons. And we'll get, the Merc Man will be back to normal. But anyways, let's get on with the show. Beginning with who's got the balls. And just so you know, the dick of the week is Disney Infinity president, because he got influenced by the Faceless CEO. So that's the dick of the week. That's going to conclude on tomorrow's episode, on Friday's episode of the Merc Man Show. But anyways, let's get on with who's got the balls, and that is sports. And I imagine it's going to be getting close to the NFL playoffs, meaning the Super Bowl. And so let's see what happens. NFL. Oh. Okay. Barnwell. Oh, what the? I didn't want. What the heck is this shit? I ended up with a fucking yo-yo website. I'm trying to look up sports, not fucking yo-yos. Would I look like a 12-year-old? Or maybe in some alternate reality. But anyways. Yoo-hoo. Turn off. Minor inconvenience. Solid proof that this show is live, folks. Okay, back to it. Barnwell, who can be the Kirk Cousins of 2016? Washington quarterback Kirk Cousins turned the number one flaw in his game into a non-factor and suddenly was playing like a star. He was... here are other players who could be very good if they fix the flaw, which I guess you can click on the link on ESPN. I'm just going by what the news says. Okay, and then basketball. Warriors suffered third loss after going down in Denver. Stephen Curry scored 38 points, but the Warriors couldn't have overcome a late difficult or whatever. Sports. This is why I don't watch sports. Anyways, falling to the Nuggets to drop to 36-3 on the season. So the Nuggets won. Nuggets. That sounds wrong on so many levels. Anyways, Warriors. They got this final score of 110, but the Nuggets won by 112. So they lost just like 2 points. And apparently there's a fight that broke on. A scuffle breaks out between Westbrook and Barrett. I guess you can look that up on the internet. That's going to be pretty fucking funny to watch. Ooh, and ex-Nebraska star Phillips found dead in jail cell. That's college football. Dang. And the source of the NFL, Jackson hired means Browns Mozell Dunn. Pat's DE had reaction to legal substance. So basically, I didn't miss much. You know, the players are, sports guys are doing drugs. So yeah. All right. Sorry about that. I had some minor inconvenience there. All right. This is NASCAR now. We're moving on to NASCAR. Packra's Chase Elliott just one of many changes. While Chase Elliott replacing Jeff Gordon is the biggest change in 2016, there will be plenty of familiar faces in new races when the Sprint Cup Series hits the track next month. And Danica Patrick's baby. While you were watching the Golden Globes, Danica Patrick and her fur baby were hanging with her sister Brooke and her adorable, human baby. So I guess he gave birth to a Wookiee. Alright, and then Richmond pulling more seats. With Richmond's announcement, the track is removing its backstretch grandstands. The seat reduction campaign in NASCAR continues. It is a sign of the times, but not all doom and gloom. So I guess there's less people watching NASCAR, I guess. I guess that's kind of bad news, guys. Sorry about that. And there's some changes going to the Kentucky Speedway. It's about to get a facelift with a new racing surface, more safer barrier, and key changes in turns 1 and 2. So the Kentucky track is going to be looking quite different. And apparently, Hasna's not getting carried away with by rival comments. Haas's team boss, Garther Steiner, has downplayed comments from rivals predicting the American team can immediately challenge the midfield in its debut campaign this year. Alright, so that's about it. And also, you're going to see some funny shit with the sports and shit. So that's it for this season of that's it for this episode of Who's Got the Balls. So apparently a lot more news happened in NASCAR than any other season. But this coming up summer is the Summer Olympics, and I'm definitely going to be unlike when I get most of my information from a tablet here, I, on the other hand, will actually be watching the Olympics. That's the one and only time the Merc Man watches sports. It's the Summer and Winter Games. This year's summer in Rio de Janeiro, it's really nice. You see like this big giant Christ statue and lots of women wear dongs, and you have the option to go topless if you're a girl. That's kind of sweet. But yeah, that's where it's going to be this year. Okay, moving on. You got some sad news, guys. Happened this last week. A beloved rock and roll icon, David Bowie, has passed on. He lost his battle to cancer, and therefore he's no longer with us, sadly. But I'll never forget you, David Bowie, Mr. Ziggy. You were a badass in Labyrinth. If you guys haven't watched Labyrinth, it's a really good classic movie done by George Lucas and the late Jim Henson. Really good. So definitely worth checking out. And plus, David Bowie has the biggest package. I mean, you could literally see like some man crotch in his tights. I mean, that's, I guess for you ladies, that's kind of hot. But, when I first watched it, I was like, holy crap. No wonder he scored a hot wife. Damn. Anyways, for the record, I do not think about David Bowie's penis. At least not all the time. Alright, moving on from that. Time for my review of the grand review of last year's movie. I hate to say it, even though the movie is still new, it's last year, sadly. Of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Okay, my bad. Let me try this again. This will look a lot more badass, folks. Okay. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Oh, really? Stupid cheap ass. Okay, can you kind of see it? Okay. And that's what happens when I pop out the spikes. Badass red lightsaber. And then back to green. People in NASCAR will have a field day with this shit. Okay. Point is, this is a lightsaber. Anyways. Wow. Just so you know, this first part of the review is gonna not have spoilers. It's about what I personally think of the movie. And then I'll get on to the spoilers. So, I'll be sure to give you guys a fair warning for those who have not seen the movie. But here's the non-spoiler part. What I think about the movie. Well, is it better than the classics? Not by a long shot. Nothing can ever beat the 1970s original trilogy. Nothing can. It'll always have a place in my heart. From my childhood all the way to the day I take it to the grave. Nothing's going to pass that. But is it better than the prequels? Fuck yes. A lot better. Holy crap. Practical effects. Actual real stormtroopers. George Lucas. That's, take notes, George Lucas. Use actual guys, not CG clones. Guys in actual costumes. Stormtroopers are back. TIE fighters are back. X-Wing fighters are back. Practical effects made its return, folks. Goes to show you don't have to use CG all the time. Mr. George Lucas. It's not... There's times... Yes, there is CG in the movie, but they used it appropriately. Like, if there's a monster that could not be made with practical effects, they used CG, and it was good. BB-8, the little ball droid, he was not CG. There's some parts of it, yeah, you can tell he was CG, but most of the time, he's real, guys. That's a real prop, a real robot. And it looked awesome. I like the new characters. Kylo Ren, kind of a whiny bitch in a way. But BB-8's awesome. Rey I liked. Finn I liked. All the old characters are back, confirmed. I did watch it. It is confirmed. All the 1970s characters, including Admiral Akbar, he's back. Fuck yeah, I was happy about that. And it's just a good movie all around. My only complaint is that it's a little repetitive, and I'll get into that with the spoilers. It kind of is somewhat of a reboot of the first movie. I hate to say that, but it kind of is. It's basically like the first movie, but with updated effects. If you watch the new movie and the old movie, you'll notice that there's quite a bit of similarities there. But yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. Definitely go out and see it. It is worth seeing, guys. It is worth seeing. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, it is worth seeing. Take my word for it. I loved it. My dad, he loved it. Yes, I do have a dad. Anthony's dad loves it. Anthony, I think he jizzed in his pants when he saw it. But other than that, it's good. So, definitely go out and see it. Okay, well, this is the closing before I get to the spoilers. So, for those of you who do not want this movie spoiled, I suggest you exit now. So, go ahead and I'll see you guys next week on the next. I'll see you guys Friday for the next Merc Man Show for the standalone rant video of this subject that's got pissed me off beyond belief. And I'm working really hard towards this rant. It's going to be quite different from this episode I'm filming now. Quite different. I downloaded some new software where I'm able to edit some stuff. So, hopefully that'll be somewhat different for you guys. Make it better. Like I said, each season I try to add something. So, but anyways. Yeah, so if you don't watch the rant video Friday, then I'll see you guys on the next Thursday on the next Merc Man Show, episode 31. So, take care, mercenaries. Pick a good contract, and I'll see you guys on the next Merc Man Show. Waiting for people to leave who hasn't seen Star Wars. If you're still around, you're not missing much. Okay, beginning the spoiler. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers! Alright, for those of you who are brave enough and had the balls to stick around, or doesn't really give a shit about the movie, then here comes the spoiler section. Wow. Knew we got a lot to talk about. Alright, first off, I talked about how it's a reboot of the first movie. It basically is. They wanted to play it safe this time, and I don't blame them after the fuck up George Lucas did with the previous 3 movies. Let's see. Jakku, very similar to Tatooine. Desert planet, check. A deadly giant superweapon, named Starkiller, very similar to Death Star, check. TIE fighters, and the old one and new one, check. X-Wing fighters, and the new one and old one, check. Millennium Falcon, and new one and old one, check. Elite character, important character dies in it, check. all the old characters in it. Check. I mean, it's basically like a reboot of the first movie. I mean, there's a little repetitive. That's my one and only complaint about this movie. One and only complaint is it's too repetitive. You know, we've been we've seen this already. Even though the one thing didn't quite make sense, and that was the Star Killer weapon, how it has to use the sun. And the thing with the Star Killer base is that they didn't build it from scratch. They used an actual planet, and they built the weapon on the planet. And what this thing did is that it absorbed the energy of the sun in order to create this harvesting weapon that kills multiple planets all at the same time, when the Death Star only killed one planet per time. And it didn't require, it required a cooldown period, but it didn't require refilling. This new weapon, the Star Killer, did require refueling with draining the energy of the sun. And I didn't think that made much sense to me. I mean, if you're taking energy from the sun, then what happens when you do take the energy from the sun? First off, everyone on the planet would die instantly, because it would be like below zero freezing temperatures, instant ice age. Everyone would die. Secondly, even if you did escape, then what? You go to find another new planet to build a new super weapon on? I mean, it's basically going to become a useless planet, a useless brick floating in space. Well, that was fun. We ran out of juice. Not much we can do to rule the galaxy. There's a new bad guy in it, very similar to Palpatine, called Snoke. I have no idea who this guy is or where he comes from. I personally think he's Ezra from Star Wars Rebels, but you guys feel free to debate with me. But that's my theory. I think he's Ezra from Star Wars Rebels. They both have a scar on their cheek. But there's some people saying it's Kylo Ren from the future. Others say it's Darth Vader. And the most common one I've heard is that he's possibly Darth Plagueis reborn. Yeah, the Kylo Ren thing comes from, like, the theory that there's possibly going to be time travel later on in the series, which I hope not. That'd be kind of fucking stupid. Wouldn't make much sense for the series. Man, Poe Dameron is the guy I like. The X-Wing fighter pilot, the way he, like, knocked off those TIE fighters one by one, it's freaking sweet. Rey's in it. She's kind of like the unsure kid, not know what her destiny is. And Finn, on the other hand, is like, wait a minute. What am I doing being a stormtrooper? You know, this is wrong. And he later, like, decides to bail Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron gets captured. He bails him out, saves him, only to be separated again. That's when Finn meets Rey. They get into a big bundle, and they just happen to stumble across the Millennium Falcon, saying it's a piece of shit. They fly it in space. Han Solo shows up with Chewbacca, and I don't know how the fuck they had this giant-ass freighter. We need a backstory on that, Disney. They reclaim the Millennium Falcon, and long story short, but spoiler alert, Han Solo dies. Why? Because Kylo Ren is Han Solo's father. Again, family issues with the Force, the family line. But anyways, it's kind of funny because not Rey, but Finn, he gets that lightsaber, he picks it up. He has no clue how to use this fucking thing. He goes up against one stormtrooper that has this badass anti-saber weapon. But only to him to be killed by Han Solo. But yeah, what else? Dang, I kind of need to see the movie a second time to recall everything. But yeah, the reason why Han Solo died is because he's trying to convert his son, Kylo Ren, to going back to being a good guy. Because back before he became Kylo Ren, he was Ben Solo, a student of Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker apparently was training some Jedis, but Kylo Ren betrayed him, killed all his students, and Luke Skywalker feels ashamed and goes into hiding. And the whole point of the plot in the movie is finding Luke Skywalker. You do see him at the end of the movie, the very end, and he does not say a word. Like here's Mark Hamill's scene. Here he is. Here's Mark Hamill's scene. Takes off the hood. Hello. I actually doesn't say hello, but he gives that look like, what the fuck you doing on my island? You know, that's basically the end of the movie right there. But yeah, Han Solo dies, and Rey. Here's the thing. Here's the final fight goes. Finn picks up a lightsaber. The black dude. He picks up the lightsaber. Goes up against Kylo Ren, hoping, oh my god, I hope I don't die. Kylo Ren kicks his ass. Rey gets devastated that her friend Finn is hurt or possibly killed. So he gets angry. He uses the Force out of nowhere. That's why it's called the Force Awakens. The Force Awakens inside of her. Grabs the lightsaber, ignites it, and then fucking goes to town on Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren gets his ass whooped. And because of that, he didn't get killed, but he got his ass whooped. And he ran away injured. That's when Snoke said, the bad guy Snoke, he said, alright, time for me to finish your training. And then, while that happened, Rey finds out where Luke is, and I can go ahead and see how episode 8 is going to be. Kylo Ren's going to become a Sith, and Rey's going to become a Jedi being trained by Luke. That's basically how number 8 is going to be. It's crazy. I'm kind of scared to see Kylo Ren as a Sith, because he's not even a Sith in this movie. He's like an Inquisitor type character. He's knows enough of the Force, but he's not properly trained. But he's still a badass in some ways because he's able to freeze a laser bolt. Poe Dameron had a clear shot, fired his laser gun. Kylo Ren just like froze it, and it was like really freaking cool. And I was like, damn. And then what else happens? Captain Phasma sadly didn't have that big of a role. And Captain Phasma falls into a trash compactor. Very similar to how Boba Fett fell into the Sarlacc pit. So no guarantee if they lived or died. I'm hoping Captain Phasma lived because he was kind of a badass character. He was in some ways like the Boba Fett in the new film. I wish he had a bigger role because he was actually kind of a badass, and it's like, where did the silver armor come from? You know, I want to know more about this character, and I'm hoping Disney realizes that he's actually slowly starting to build a fan base, just like how Boba Fett did. Which, by the way, that's the subject of the rant video. But all in all, Force Awakens is a good movie. I liked it. Just my one and only complaint, it's a little repetitive of the first movie. It's a reboot of the first movie, practically. Only with new characters. And a slightly different story. But, yeah. So, go out and see this movie. I'm not going to give too much away. Just so you know, I did not tell everything in order. That's another good reason for you to see the movie. Like, I just want to point out my thoughts of it. But being that it only has one complaint, and that I enjoyed it so much, it was a lot of fun to watch. The Star Wars Force Awakens gets a perfect 5 out of 5 on my list. Super rare. Go out and see this motherfucking movie. Alright guys, well, that'll do it for this episode of the Merc Man Show. I will see you guys Friday for the special standalone rant video on this one subject alone to find out why I'm so pissed off. And for once, you actually get to see what my arch nemesis looks like. So stay tuned for that. Until then, guys, have a good week. Pick a good contract. Don't take anyone's side. I'll be in full uniform next time. And I'll see you guys on the next Merc Man Show.